right, playing Byakuya. So two complete new characters. We got Akatsuki on the left, and in Fire System, kind of like Mika, he wants to get in close, he's got Fireball. And on the right, we got Byakuya, who is this trap-based, mid-range spider character.
Best normals in the game.
Yeah, his normals are godlike, honestly. So
insane normals.
Mid-range
2B, 5C,
yeah.
2C.
He's got everything.
Yeah.
Great stagger. So this is definitely going to be a match where TAICHEESY wants to get in, and that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Yeah. So you mentioned before how Nanase is kind of like a Shoto of the game.
Sure, yeah.
Akatsuki is literally
the true
a
Shoto, yeah. I mean,
Fireball, Hurricane Kick, Uppercut.
He's got
he has a parry.
Yeah.
He's like actually a Shoto.
Yeah,
does a ton of damage too.
He is definitely one of the fan favorite characters in this game, honestly.
Yes.
It's like whenever Akatsuki gets on screen, everyone's like, oh, sweet, it's Akatsuki.
Yeah, because this is, back in South Florida, we call this like punch and kick guy.
Yeah.
This is punch and kick guy in a game filled with, characters with guns and whips and, swords that go full screen. And like this character here, Byakuya, his normals go like half the screen. So, yeah, he's definitely got to work to get in, but once he gets in, he's got great normals up close.
Right now, it looks like, wow, TAICHEESY trying to get in here. He finally, lands a good hit.
Yeah, and he just won the cycle with that as well.
Dash B, though, so like you said, those guy-like normals from Byakuya.
Yeah, didn't mention Dash B. That's that sliding move. That move is great, too. Oh, this is going to be a punish.
Yeah. TAICHEESY, okay, yeah.
Keeps it super simple.
You might be able to kill off the next hit, but okay, Duckie.
Ooh, no confirm. Chance here for Duckie.
Yeah.
Got that web above him.
Yeah, so Byakuya can make these webs. They're basically traps. They go off basically if you kind of stand up or are close enough to them. Yeah, proximity. So they go off after a little amount of time. If you get hit by them, it's a full combo from Byakuya. And even if you just block it, you actually lose grid, that resource we were talking about. So it can be a very tricky move to deal with because you're sitting there with that web, and you can't even destroy it with your jabs. You have to use a stronger normal to kill it.
Yeah. And I think even if you destroy it and you're not near it, you still lose the grid. Yeah, it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's pretty annoying, I think. It technically, on paper, doesn't really have a very good solution. You kind of cross your fingers and hope it doesn't really mess up your game plan.
Oh, that was looking like the start of a nice confirm there, but no combo.
Yeah, Duckie looking like he's having a little bit trouble converting, but TAICHEESY doing a great job of just sticking onto Duckie. Like you said before, keeping it simple sometimes, but really just leveraging his good pressure options. And yeah, getting those good jumps in.
So one of the things that I'd really like to see Duckie do a little bit better here, I think one of the huge strengths of Byakuya is his Gatling windows.
Yes.
So the way Byakuya typically opens you up is through frame traps. He does have the force function overhead, and he has like a weird command grab kind of thing, but really, I think this character, the way he actually scares you into getting hit by those things is through frame traps. He has really, really, really big Gatling windows on basically all of his normals. So he can make it very unclear where you're supposed to try to get out of the pressure.
Yeah, it's like those moves are all minus, but he can just cancel them into another good normal, and he has a lot of them.
Yeah.
You can pretty much just be like, button, 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 keep going. Keep going, though. TAICHEESY, bring it back here a little bit. And yeah, familiar sight here. Oh, there we go. Leveraging that good stand jab.
So there was a chain shift CS in neutral. We didn't talk about that. When you chain shift, you actually gain meter. Your grid meter empties, and it gets translated into meter.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons you might see a player do that in neutral like that. They just want the meter.
Definitely. And even if you use that chain shift, once you get that meter, you can still win the next cycle.
Right.
So a lot of times, if you're feeling comfortable with it, you can just try and get that meter and try and still win that cycle.
Oh, he is super dead. But yeah, I do that all the time. Like if I win a cycle and I have low meter, I'll just concentrate for a little bit, just build a little bit of extra grid, CS to get the meter, and then just concentrate on winning the next cycle again.
Yeah, I mean, the swing with grid, you guys got to remember, not only when you win grid, you actually take grid from the opponent. So it's really easy to make those comebacks. Like we talk about tug of war, but it's actually pretty volatile. One or two good sequences, like a good shield here or there, can get you from losing almost completely to suddenly being ahead. So you actually have a lot of leeway room to use your resources, or maybe not perform so well early on in the cycle, but still make that up, at the very end.
Exactly, and that's something I see all the time, not only watching matches, but playing as well, where you think the thing with the cycle is that the 12 o'clock is it's like later than it looks like it is, because you'll see a lot of players, they think that they have the cycle all locked up. They're up 2-3 blocks. They're like, I got this one in the bag. I can actually attack now. and a last-minute shield by the opponent, and boom, it shifts, and you lose the cycle right as it's switching. So that's actually pretty common. And there's other things like backdashing loses you grid. Assaulting gains you a little burst of grid from the forward movement. So there's like tricky ways to try to steal the cycle right at the last minute, especially when it's really close.
Honestly, like you said, you know, even if you're winning the cycle, if you just press like one button and they shield it, they get a block, and that block is oftentimes enough to get back into the winning position. So because of that, especially at high level, we're going to see a lot of just stare downs.
Exactly.
Where it's like, okay, I'm winning. I don't need to do anything. I just, you know, pressing a button is actually riskier than just sitting there and waiting.
And that's something else as a player that I've tried to internalize is when I recognize that I'm not going to win the cycle, you might as well pressure them. And like, you got to get something out of it. If you're going to lose the cycle, you want to at least, okay, I might as well pressure them. And, you know, of course it becomes more tricky then because now they've won the cycle. They can CS, they can alpha counter. But,
and that's the mind game, too. It's